Welcome back to Disco Elysium. Thanks for joining me. At the end of the last episode, we talked with the Union leader and got a new task, but I don't think I'll be able to do that task till Wednesday. So until then, we're going to continue our investigation. And by continue our investigation, I mean we're basically going to start it. I haven't done anything except find out who murdered the guy. And that was Titus, who works for the Union. Actually, I just want to check. Can I do this check? I can't. It's locked. Nothing more to do. Sorry to skip the voiceover, but I've heard it too many times now. And we are going to run back to Kim's car and I believe call Sylvie on his shortwave and ask her who made the call. Right, it feels to me like the Union leader didn't even try to obfuscate. He admitted that his guys killed the mercenary, and then he justified it, right? He's saying that, like, yeah, we did it. What about it? You know, like, we were right. That guy was crazy and suicidal, and he was going to kill everyone with machine guns. Let's actually talk with a Scab. I know I said we were going to go to Kim's car, but let's talk with a Scab and see what he thinks of this whole thing.
Went native on the chief, huh? Those ballerina antics were reckless. Should have just punched him in the throat again.
He's talking about our fight with Martinez. Yep.
Wrong. You did the right thing with Measurehead. The ballerina antics won you the fight.
Whatever works, yeah?
Let's talk about our right to work.
What exactly is your goal here?
We were promised work. We'd be in there, working, if the bastards hadn't shut the gates.
And you were unable to breach the entrance?
Main gate's locked. Would take heavy ordnance to bust it open. Could try to get in through the secretary's office. Door's locked. The guards blocking the way to the access panel.
I'm sure you would love to have that little key card I have.
And I don't mean the scrawny mess punk either. I mean head measurer. Or whatever he is.
Wait, you can't get by Measurehead? But I got by Measurehead. I kicked him in the face.
Yeah. I saw your ballerina moves up there. In a real fight, these acrobatics will get you killed faster than a bullet.
Uh-huh.
You caught him off guard. That only happens once. Now he's alert, standing on a narrow bridge, and my men are tired and hungry.
Why don't you just talk to them?
Like civilized folk, you mean? These native fucks don't understand civilized.
Mm-hmm. So we are coming to the understanding that he is a toy of the corporate interest, I believe.
It would be better for the neighborhood if you went home, at least for now, if you can't get in anyway.
Well said, Kim.
No. They will give up eventually. Or get drunk. Leave the button unguarded. Then we charge.
Should I ask what a strike is? I think not. I'm just going to leave now. I was thinking he might have more to tell us about the investigation, but doesn't seem so. Let's get more alcohol. We are still tipsy, so that's good. But, is it time to ask about this thing? What else was there? There was the drugs and the smokes. Oh, I have money for smokes now. Of course.
A display of cigarettes and alcohol bottles lined the shop wall, inviting you closer.
Again, I'm obliged to inform you that both alcohol and cigarettes damage your health.
Sure, give me the Astra cigarettes.
Here you go, mister.
And more beer.
Here you go, mister.
More cigarettes? I don't know. We'll be fine. Let's... Oh, wait, I could get wine. What's the point of more expensive stuff? Let's just find out. Should I? Oh, I can't afford this anymore. Yeah, we'll see what the point of the more expensive alcohol is. Sorry, where's the... Oh, we're holding it, right. Yeah, each beer gives us 4 uses, and each alcohol, or each Commodore Red gives me 4 uses too. I don't know why... one costs more. We'll find out when we smoke it, perhaps. And then... Or when we drink it, and then we'll smoke the Astra outside, I suppose. Let's ask her about this thing as well.
The tear machine stands in the corner. A sign says, 1 bottle equals 10 cents.
Yeah, what is this machine?
Oh, that's the tear machine.
Sure, okay, but what is it?
It's a machine for tear. You know, you find tear outside, like bottles or whatever, and put it in the machine, then it gives you money.
Okay, but is there like a bag or something?
Cool. Let's do this swindle. This tear swindle.
Cool. I didn't realize that was a savoir-faire thing to do. Pick up the tear. I see. And how do I pick up tear for the tear machine?
You need a bag, I guess. We used to have some, but we gave them all out, so...
Oh, come on. Look behind the register or something.
Feel free to use it if you find a bag, though. I'm sure there are some out there.
How do I get a bag?
Somewhere.
All right, we got to keep our eyes peeled for a bag, apparently. She said out back, actually. Out back, the Frittte is where I've been, though, right? Right? I don't have a bag, do I? No, none of those are bags. All right. How do I get a bag? Talk with someone? I suppose I talk with someone. But anyways, let's call Sylvie first. That was the main thing I was going to do this episode, I think. Whoa, look at those shadows. That's not... Oh, no, that's the tree. Sorry. I see. It's the tree. It's working in perfect parallax. Anyways, let's call Sylvie on the shortwave. What do you say, Kim? I've got my ledger out. Good.
You see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow of the fuel preheater gauge.
Let's pick up the radio.
The frequency tableau lights up, and the green button labeled Prime Line glows like a feline eye. And then you hear something. The soft purr of electrical kittens, radio waves cast far and wide over the metropolis. A woman's voice greets you through the static.
This must be Sylvie.
This is Precinct 57. Hello, Lieutenant. How may I assist you?
Oh, you're not Sylvie.
Hello, Alice. Please assist our colleague from the 41st precinct here. I'm putting him on.
Operating the radio is easy. Just be confident. You've probably done it 1,000 times.
Come in, Delta 10. This is Firewalker. Copy.
This is Officer Alice Demetri, Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
I could swear you were friendlier with the lieutenant, Alice.
Under the green prime line, a yellow saved button catches your eye. You wonder what the lieutenant's default radio station is.
I need you to connect me with a civilian, a Sylvie. She may have reported a murder.
Of course. What is the number, officer?
Kim, didn't Gart give you Sylvie's number?
Yes, hold on. Her number is 005 1944 298.
I have a very distinct memory of thinking that reaction speed gave me Sylvie's number instead of Kim.
Received. Hold on, officer.
This is really good sound design for Alice's voice. They did a good job with the effect on her. All right.
Give it a minute. She might be busy at the moment. Takes a bit to get to the phone.
I used to be good at that. Okay, sorry. Come on, Alice.
Officer, I have Sylvie Malaika on the line for you.
Thank you. Malaika.
Hello?
A female voice greets me through static. It sounds like she's a million miles away from here. Sylvie, I believe we've met before. This is me, a detective from the Whirling in Rags.
Oh, right. Hello, officer. What can I do for you?
She recognizes my voice almost immediately.
There is no resentment in her tone. She wants you to ask her out. No question about it.
Sweet. Do you want to grab a cup of coffee with me sometime?
No, absolutely not.
Okay. So there goes trusting my strengths here.
That came so fast, you can't but wonder what else she would be good at.
Yes, what would she be good at?
Baseball, ring-a-bell quiz shows, catching keys in the air, petting an angry cat.
She's got good hands. Sorry. I heard you quit your job at the Whirling. I was sorry to hear that, Sylvie. Why?
You mean, why did I leave the bar? Honestly, I'm not really comfortable discussing it with you, sir.
We hear her tense up.
Why not?
Why aren't you comfortable discussing it with me?
Let's just say I left because I needed to get away from someone.
Get away from whom?
You know whom.
Me? Alright, I won't push you on this. Are you ever coming back to work?
Maybe, I don't know. I just know I have to take some time off right now.
Huh. Have you seen my gun? Was it you who called the police?
No, not me.
Do you know who made that call?
No, sorry. I don't. Not a lot of people have phones around here. Copper thieves take the wires.
Sure.
People don't have the money to have the cables put in again. They use the Union's phone, or the one on the coast.
The Union's phone or the one on the coast? The Union called the police, perhaps. Interesting.
So the Union has a phone, and there's one further down the coast. Got it.
What would it have said if I failed that? Like, ignoring that the... Okay, anyway.
It was someone else. We'll find them sooner or later, officer. It just might take a while.
But why didn't you call, Sylvie?
What? Of course it bothered me. But I thought the Union already knew about the court.
I meant us. You should have called the police.
No one calls the police. The Union would get angry.
And what do you mean by that?
You know, what the Union says goes. People listen to them and they take care of their own, which is like everyone here.
I am the authority around here.
Okay.
She obviously doesn't want to challenge my authority. I feel much better now. Alright, why exactly did you let a corpse hang in your own backyard for weeks instead of calling us?
I didn't want to get in trouble with the others.
What others?
Push her further. Show her the error of her ways.
What others?
The other people who live around here. Local people, I didn't want trouble.
What trouble?
You don't live here. You don't understand. Squealing is frowned upon here. Everything is dealt with, well, by the Union, internally. Please, I just didn't want any trouble.
Let me get this straight. You ignored the law to save your own skin.
I didn't know I had to report it. I thought someone would take him down eventually.
Alright.
The fucking nerves on her. Trying to hide behind weakness. You're a god. An angry but just god.
This is awful, but I'm a god. You report to me, not to the Union. Is it clear?
Hey, if you cannot restrain yourself, then I'll be handling the interviews from now on, and you can quietly take notes.
You got your methods, I got mine, Lieutenant. Now let me do my job.
Fine. But know that I don't approve of such gratuitous volatility.
That's fair.
Breathing on the other end suggests that Sylvie is still on the line. She heard everything.
Okay, Sylvie. Next question.
Okay.
She's calmer now. Do you know who put the victim's clothes in the trash?
No, I don't know. It wasn't me. I haven't been out there since. I was terrified of the stench and the corpse.
And do you know how my paperwork ended up in the trash container behind the Whirling?
Well, you tried to jam it down the toilet, sir, clogging it completely. After I had unclogged the toilet and retrieved the paperwork, I threw it out in the trash, thinking you didn't need it.
It's fair, but you just said... Hang on a second. You haven't been out there since... what? Because the trash can is right next to the body.
I am sorry about that. Anything else, Detective?
Yeah, have you seen my gun?
Please, no. Not this again. Everyone saw your cool gun, Detective.
She sounds beyond exasperated. I showed you my gun. When did it happen again?
You were trying to impress some people with it. everyone was eating, and...
She stops hesitantly, not sure if she should continue.
Sounds like it's going to be bad. Do you really want to know?
Yeah, actually, don't worry about it.
Great. Anything else?
I think I got everything I need, thanks.
I do hope so. Please, don't call me again. Bye.
Wait. Why does she seem angry with you?
No, she doesn't have a problem with you.
Yeah.
It must be someone else she's angry about. Some other guy. Like Gart.
Yeah, it is a guy like Gart.
You know women and their constant problems. Yak, yak, nag, nag. How's one supposed to get the love going like that?
Yak, yak, nag, nag. I agree, empathy.
That's where you step in. You're Lieutenant Love, matchmaker extraordinaire. Help the poor girl out, lest she turns into a spinster.
Oh my god, not a spinster.
Not a spinster, my God. You have to intervene on behalf of the International Lavatory Fund. First, calm her down. Tell her you've got everything under control. And then go have a boys' talk with Gart himself.
I don't want to have a talk with Gart. I'll do it if I have to.
Think you can do that, Lieutenant Love?
Refuse the love quest, although it's wonderful. Well, I can't refuse it if it's wonderful. Are you still there, kiddo? Listen, I've got everything under control.
No. What?
You and Gart, right? A little trouble under the sheets? Say no more. Papa's got this. Big Papa.
Big Papa is happening.
Oh, God. Please, just stay out of my life.
I've got a hunch your love life is about to take a very pleasant turn.
What? What is it?
You'll see, Lieutenant. You will see.
Call was terminated by the other party. Anything else, officer?
It's on. The love quest is on. Too late, everyone. It's on. Take it to Gart now.
All right, let's see what the saved is.
As always, it's DJ Mesh and Fellatio, and you're
Fellatio.
listening to Freaks FM, bringing you the hottest, the nastiest, the most vulgar.
I'm getting a sense that Kim really likes vulgar, nasty drama.
A flock of seagulls takes off nearby, startled by the roaring radio.
Nice.
Right away, the lieutenant reaches into the cabin and turns off the radio. He's not looking at you as he says,
Someone must have been messing with the radio, or maybe it picked up a random frequency. You wanted the prime line, right?
Speed Freaks FM, huh?
Oh, is that what it was called?
He's trying hard to act surprised.
go for it. Turn the radio back on while it's still on the Speed Freaks FM.
Let's do it.
Souped up motor carriage for one bad mama's boy. For the heavier foot and the freakier.
God damn it.
The lieutenant moves quick as a viper as he switches off the radio and sets it on prime line. Then he turns to you.
Look, it helps me to stay alert on long nights, okay? It's a method. I'm not some kind of speed freak or...
He shakes his head furiously, staring at his feet. What about heavy of foot?
You would be too if you had this motor carriage.
He snaps half seriously. Nice.
But seriously, let's quit joking around, alright? We have a case to investigate.
This is Precinct 57. Can I connect you to someone?
I'm done with the radio for now.
57's over and out.
Her voice disappears into the void.
In the cabin, you see a set of steering levers, a radio on a hook, a pull-out toolbox.
All right, close the door. Whew, the love quest, eh? This sounds intriguing. We'll do that next time. I think, it's 5 o'clock? Oh, wait, we were going to do something in here. Do I really want to go back and talk with Gart? I think I want to read this book that I haven't read yet. Is that a good idea? Let's read it. Let's see what it says.
King Fleecell smiles at you. For some reason, the smile now strikes you as more forced than it did before.
Let's start at the very beginning. Read the editor's note.
Comrade, as you know, this journal takes its name from Mazov's immortal expression, Du cristal à la fumée. This was his way of describing the way the rigid, crystalline structures of capitalist ideology turned to smoke under communism.
I wish I knew what that meant. Something like the crystal breaks.
But, like the structures of capitalist ideology, we too are at risk of going à la fumée. Unlike many publications which are content to spoon-feed their readers reassuring drivel, La Fumée is committed to telling the radical truth, even when that truth may drive away potential subscribers.
You know, this calls for alcohol and a smoke, actually. Oh, but I can't. That does take away morale, right? Yeah. Okay, sorry. Yeah, I guess I can't do smokes right now. Wait, what is that? That's my ledger. Okay. Substance used, alcohol, potent pilsner. Yes, indeed.
Only 4 issues in, and it sounds like they've already alienated their readership.
Yeah. Other magazines are content to spoon-feed their readers reassuring drivel, but not La Fumée, even when that truth may drive away potential subscribers. Yep.
Perhaps they've overestimated the market demand for this kind of commentary.
Indeed.
So please, if you value our radical Mazovian perspective on contemporary politics, culture, and international affairs, please consider subscribing today. Yours in struggle, the editors.
Kim, I think this is a communist magazine.
What do you expect? It was laying around the office of the Debarders Union. They're probably bankrolling the thing.
Right.
You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you.
Let's catch up on international developments.
This section includes a long, tedious critique of the latest round of free trade negotiations between the EPIS nations and the Free State of Semenine.
Semenine was Measurehead's race, right? That's where he's from, or whatever. EPIS, I wonder if Revachol is part of the EPIS nations? I don't know.
You also skip over an article about heavy fuel oil smuggling along the Messina border. Something about bear wrestling in Samara, book riots in Yugograd. Whoa. Bear wrestling. Flip back to that.
Indeed, let's see what this bear wrestling is all about.
It seems to be part of a new public fitness initiative in the People's Republic of Samara, SRV, devised and promoted by none other than President Kenajinsky himself.
Bear wrestling. Amazing.
According to this extremely credulous account, Uncle Sport, as he's affectionately known to his people, has recently decreed bear wrestling the national sport of the SRV.
It seems to be part of a new public fitness initiative. So when it says bear wrestling, it can't mean 2 bears wrestling each other.
Of course not. The article makes plain that this is man on bear, or in some cases, woman on bear competition. 2 competitors, 1 ring, 5 rounds, or until incapacitation.
What the heck kind of bears are they using that this is interesting to watch and fun to participate in?
According to the SRV's Ministry of Information, the program has been a tremendous success. Public support stands at 87%, and youth obesity and alcoholism rates are down 12% and 7%, respectively.
But that's according to the SRV's Ministry of Information, whereas Uncle Sport is, it's his pet project, so yeah, we're not going to buy that, I don't think.
This is the SRV we're talking about. If you think those are the real numbers, there's probably a guy who wants to sell you a bridge in La Chette.
Yeah, not sure I trust those numbers.
What are you, a statistician? Did the moral intern send you on a fact-finding mission? This is the SRV party line, comrade.
Kim, do you think there's any chance our case will take us to the SRV?
The Samaran People's Republic? No, I should expect not. Why do you ask?
I was thinking it might be fun to partake in a bear fight.
What you do in your spare time is your business. In the meantime, I would prefer you focus on our case.
Right, focus, right.
You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you.
What is Kunst and Kultur?
It takes a moment, but gradually it dawns on you that Kunst und Kultur must mean arts and culture.
I did a good job pronouncing that.
Why they decided to title this one section in Volda is beyond you. Obviously, because it's cool to drop random phrases in foreign languages.
I agree.
As you leaf through this section, you come across several reviews of recent radio plays, as well as a brief artist spotlight featuring a local artist identified only as CS.
Local. Is this a Revishal paper, magazine, whatever? Probably.
The main feature, though, is a long essay titled Tip Top Tournée, a critical Mazovian perspective.
Let's read the profile of CS.
This so-called artist spotlight is really just a brief Q&A, made all the briefer by the subject's evident hostility to her interviewer.
Okay. And the Tip Top Tournée?
The actual article is surprisingly light on details, but after skimming a page or two, you gather that it has something to do with motor carriage racing.
Okay.
If you don't follow it, you only ever hear about the ludicrous sponsorships and obscene death toll.
I mean, I like motor carriage racing, I think. All right, let's see what these communists have to say about Tip Top.
You think you're settling in for a relaxing recap of the most recent season, maybe sprinkled with some nice anecdotes about a few of the more colorful drivers.
But
instead, you find yourself skimming a 10,000-word feature about all the politically problematic aspects of Tip Top Tournée.
Wait, what's wrong with Tip Top?
Where to even start? For one, there's the crass commercialism of its sponsorships, and then there's the practically criminal emphasis on deadly motor crashes.
What's wrong with a good motor crash? They just keep it interesting.
And that precisely is what's problematic about it. Were it not for the promise of random, spectacular violence, audiences would quickly lose interest.
Okay.
At the end of the day, it's the destruction of these 750,000 real races that you're really watching for.
Wow, you're right. I really am just in it for the violence.
You see, one cannot avoid the conclusion that Tip Top Tournée is simply the apotheosis of spectacular entertainment under capitalism.
Kim, this article says that no one really watches Tip Top Tournée for the races.
Oh, come on. Can this article read your mind?
No, I guess not.
Well, there you have it. No reason to get hung up on the pretentious ramblings of a few young men. If I had to wager, I'd say they've never even seen the inside of a motor, much less a motor race. I take whatever they write with a large grain of salt.
You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you.
All right, this appears to be the last chapter. Hang on, do we have 98%? Oh, sweet. Okay, put this down. Let's see what they mean by local concerns, and then I'm sure we'll have our thought completed.
Unsurprisingly, much of this section is taken up with articles declaring unqualified support for the dock workers' strike.
Aha! Right, this is the interesting chapter, isn't it?
You skim the headlines. Paint the harbor red and white. Martinez tames the wild pines. A city in revolt. First we take Martinez. Then we take La Delta.
Hang on. That reminds me. Breakthrough imminent. And that means solution? We have a solution? No. What does it mean? We have to... We can click on something? Okay, I just have to wait a little longer? Sorry. Because I read this completely, and I can't click on anything. Okay. Okay. Sorry. back to the book. Continue.
Finally, there's a brief article by the writer, G. Martin, accusing the owner of the Capeside Apartments of illegally attempting to evict certain communist tenants simply for not having paid their rent.
That is the apartment complex we went in last episode, and we did see some communist writing on the walls. We did see eviction notices. That's pretty interesting. All right. Why should I care? This doesn't have anything to do with me.
The eternal problem, according to G. Martin, is that under capitalism, the worker is rendered incapable of perceiving their own agency or lack thereof.
Okay.
Thus, they tend to experience their own oppression as though it were happening to somebody else.
Okay.
You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you.
Yeah, whatever. Put the magazine away. All right. Aha. What is this I am thinking about?
Detective Costeau. Monsieur Costeau, the reward for coming up with your classy new name has arrived. What are the attributes Detective Costeau should gain in? Obviously, savoir-faire and esprit de corps. You know exactly what they do and what those words mean. They're refined, like you. You have a ton of that fancy stuff. And if the world can't accept Raphael Ambrosius is your name, you will always be Detective Costeau to yourself. R.A. Costeau, sophisticated culture detective, specializes in ancient things and art.
Excellent. +1 savoir-faire, +1 esprit de corps. This one sounds fancy. Let's have this. Yep, fancy. Let's have this one too. I love it. Let's accept. Sweet. Sweet. Man, bonus from items. We really need to get rid of our shoes and our pants. Awesome. All right, don't forget it. That would be awful. And wait, is the conceptualization, that's just temporary, right? We no longer have -2 conceptualization. Fantastic. Let's switch over to internalizing white mourning again. I don't care about the minus authority, huh? Cool. This game's awesome. Next episode, we'll probably talk with Gart, Lieutenant Love. We'll talk with him about the clothes in the trash too, and maybe the call. Yeah, this might take some time. Okay. Oh, yeah. We probably won't talk to Gart about the call. We already talked to him about it. Maybe we'll inspect the victim's body. It's gross, though, so who knows. I'm not going to report my badge missing. I'm not going to pay for damages. Oh, someone did tell me how to pay for damage, didn't they? Thank you for the comment. It was a good hint, saying that I probably don't want to wait too long. In fact, maybe I should run over there now. It's in the northwest, I believe, where I may be able to find a fancy person to help me out with Gart's demands, unreasonable demands, in fact. And it is getting late. It's already almost 6. Is it too late? Might be too late. I've never been here before. No time to explore. I'm looking for a person. Are you fancy? You don't look fancy to me.
A striking woman leans against the cabin top of her sailing boat, smiling as you approach. Her green raincoat glistens with droplets. A silk scarf is tied around her throat.
She is a fancy girl, isn't she?
Good afternoon, officers. I'm Joyce.
She extends her hand in greeting. Well, hello to you, Joyce. I am Raphael Ambrosius Costeau.
Joyce Messier. I represent the board of Wild Pines, the owners of the harbour. You gentlemen must be from the RCM.
She steps closer and holds out her hand over the railing. A pleasure to meet you,
I'm glad
Joyce.
to see you here.
Her grip is tight and cold. I'm embracing the fancy side of me, aren't I? Having internalized that thought. Should I drink? That might put her off, actually. I won't drink.
Like steel, there is strength there. If she wanted, she could sink her nails deep into your skin.
I was dispatched to handle a strike, not a lynching. Anything I can do to assist the RCM in this matter, I will, gladly.
Well, it is a pleasure to meet you.
That is good to hear, madame. my colleague, will take the lead on this interview. I should let you know that he is recovering from an unusual medical episode. Very unusual. But I can assure you of his ultimate competency.
Kim, what are you doing?
It happens quicker than a shooting star. But did the lieutenant just wink at you?
How interesting. I wish you a swift recovery. In the meanwhile, you have my full cooperation, and the full cooperation of the Wild Pines group.
Tell me about Wild Pines. What do you do?
What we do? I'm afraid I don't speak for Wild Pines as a whole. It's a giant undertaking.
Okay, so what do they do?
The Pines' core competency is logistics. Container shipping, freight, that sort of thing. See those airships there, blinking? Those are the shipping side of things.
Airships, huh?
And that is the terminal. Another subdivision deals with energy, oil and gas exploration, offshore platforms.
And how much money does Wild Pines have?
I'm not at liberty to discuss the company balance sheet, but I can tell you that last year, the company booked more than 20 billion real in revenue.
That's a lot of revenue.
A billion?
Wow.
20 billion is a large number, but the conglomerate employs 72,000 people. They all need to be paid. Then there are capital improvements, interest payments.
A wave hits the sloop. She grasps the mainstay for balance.
A conglomerate the size of the Wild Pines is like a shark. If it stops moving, it will die. Then what becomes of those 72,000 families? It's a tremendous responsibility.
And where does Wild Pines get all these billions?
They started as an exploration and cargo fleet conducting trade between the Samaran and Insulindian Isolas 250 years ago, when Pine ships explored the South Seminese and charted Lomantang on behalf of the suzerain.
Huh.
Centuries of care, deliberation, and madness have gone into this endeavor. Vessels pass through the Great Unrest to re-emerge with apricots in tow. The logic of the system is totalizing. It's taken everything from its employees to build it.
And what does such a huge system want with a place like this?
You mean aside from being the terminal's legal owners, who are responsible for moving 8% of the world's cargo?
8% of all cargo in the world. That is quite the endeavor indeed.
There are no minor cogs in the system. Each terminal must be accounted for, lest the entire system break. Every hiccup in such a system means thousands lose their jobs, the world over. I'm here to assure that doesn't happen.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm just curious what gave me the thought that Wild Pines does 8% of all cargo in the world. I don't know what the 15th Indo-Tribe means. Okay, sorry. No minor cogs. Well, you seem rich, is the point that I'm hearing from this. Can I have some money?
Is what you want to say, but it isn't that easy, is it?
What? Why not?
Look at that lady. Take a gander. Squint your eyes, bub.
What nice fabrics.
Why, yes. Tucked away under that sturdy green raincoat, almost rustic in its simplicity, a silk shirt and matching scarf around her gentle throat, while dull orange pearls hang from her earlobes, red from the cold. Her light green eyes scan you, full of knowledge and worry, wealth and all its possibilities.
She's worried about my power? Yeah, so?
Now look at you, you misery-clad simian, barely able to tie your own laces. Your armpits are lakes. A scythe of booze precedes you. Your hair sticks to your forehead, and your underwear feels uncomfortable.
Okay.
You're poor. Poor as balls. You can't ask this person for money. You're too...
Ashamed.
Yes. You're too ashamed to ask this person for money. Too scared to belittle yourself in her eyes. Those half-precious stones of Odinil.
Fair.
As I was saying, if there's any way I may be of assistance, please don't hesitate to ask.
Can I have some money?
Voila, you're doing it.
Was not expecting that.
Really put your back into it. Yell it from the top of your lungs.
I have to, I guess. Money!
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. The wind is a bit strong. Could you repeat that?
I need money!
How much money?
I need 100 real.
That's a good sum. Not too small, not fantastically large.
You think I could have gotten more?
She removes a few notes and hands them to you. The paper is cold and oily to the touch. There must be about 200 real in that zip bag, maybe a little less, plus some change at the bottom.
Good to know.
So, I hope I didn't just bribe you, officer. It may not be technically illegal under the Emergency Act, but still.
I am an honorable policeman, one of the few good men in Revachol.
You're right, ma'am, that donations are permitted under the Emergency Act, unseemly as it may be, as long as they're properly logged with the precinct.
Which he most certainly will do. Now, how else can I help the RCM today, besides supplementing its salaries?
And what can you tell me about this strike before I say goodnight to you?
Everything. Right up to, but not including, trade secrets.
What's your role in this? I'm thinking she's the negotiator that couldn't control the 3 hired mercenaries.
I believe the official title is Senior Labor Negotiator. In practice, I'm a grocery clerk. I relay the union's demands to Wild Pines and return with Wild Pines' counteroffer.
Okay.
And how are the talks going?
They're not. That's the problem. The union stopped all negotiations a week ago, after that awful lynching took place.
Wait, she just admitted that the lynching and the strike are connected.
That's good.
Now they won't even let me into the harbour. There's a 2-meter-20 racist behemoth blocking the gates.
Ah, you mean Measurehead.
Yes, Jean-Luc Measurehead.
So the strike is connected to the lynching. We can all agree?
Yes, I believe there is a connection. But that's a subject for later.
Her eyes narrow. How were the talks going before the lynching?
Let's say I was not making the kind of progress I'd hoped for when I first arrived.
And when did you first arrive?
I arrived 3 weeks ago. Yes, in the middle of February. The bay was still partially frozen then. I prefer to do these things on site, like the RCM.
3 weeks ago. I like this song. Is this the... What is this? Insulindian Miracle, maybe? Huh. Wonder why that would be the name of the song. Maybe it's a different one.
But the strike began in December.
Wow, 2 months, huh?
I wasn't the original negotiator here. I took over after Mr. Gaumont hit a wall with Mr. Clare, the union boss. Mr. Clare refused to speak with Gaumont despite concessions he'd granted the union in prior negotiations.
Huh.
This isn't the first time the union has gone on strike?
Heavens no. There have been 2 prior strikes. Both times the union won significant concessions, including overtime pay and a medical plan. This time their demands are more, I guess you could say, aggressive.
Now, between you and me, the scabs at the gate, did you put them there?
The scabs? You mean the huddled masses of Jamrock, come to plead for work where the union refuses to?
My
Don't let her
apologies.
answer it herself.
Don't let her answer it herself? I guess that's telling me to say no, I mean scabs.
If these workers were organized by Wild Pines or its affiliates, then it would be a company secret. I could not share it with you. Not yet, at least.
I see. So what happened to the Gaumont, the other negotiator?
Mr. Clare told him to... How did he put it?
She pauses to compose herself.
Fuck off, midget. Gaumont is short of stature, you see.
Cool.
Yes. Extremely. Keep in mind, this is a negotiator Mr. Clare has worked with before, and who was more than fair with him and the Union.
So what are the Union demands?
There are leaflets everywhere, and banners. What did they say again? Oh, yes. Every worker, a member of the board.
Ambitious.
Most of the workers probably don't know what that means.
Seems like they have no idea about business.
In its defense, another said, demand democracy. Pretty tame stuff compared to every worker, a member of the board.
Most of them probably don't know what that means. I might not know what that means either.
Fortunately, they explained it. Every time the Wild Pines group makes a decision about anything, it needs the signature of each of the 2,200 workers in its Martinez terminal.
Well, that's not very realistic.
Just so you understand, this is but one of 22 terminals owned by Wild Pines. Essentially, not only are they kings of the company, they are also kings of the 72,000 employees of Wild Pines Group.
I'm sorry, that's pretty funny, I have to admit.
They're having a blast. But how can they afford it? After 4 months, my assumption was they would prefer a more practical solution.
And what are you going to do?
I'm not sure. Naturally, I assume that was just their opening position, a hard-nosed tactic with a side of mockery. But there's been no follow-up, just the same nonsensical slogan repeated over and over again. And now, people are getting lynched, I hear. Behind the whirling in rags. A disastrous situation if there ever was one.
Indeed.
Excuse me, from whom did you hear about this lynching?
I first heard it from the bowyer at the gates. The one whose very name advertises his aversion to work. I think he said it was, "Call me mañana."
Ah, now I understand his name. Call me mañana means he's not going to work today, he'll work tomorrow, though.
This checks out.
It checks out. Well, I'm going to have to call it an episode. We might finish this conversation next time.
Of course. How else can I help?
But that's all for
Of course,
now.
Detective. Take care.
You know, actually, maybe that is going to be it. Maybe I'll talk to her tomorrow, but it's getting late, perhaps. Let's see what this yellow box is.
You work hard.
I do!
Oh, yes. You hustle. You're a provider. It's tough out there, but you keep it real and provide.
I guess I do, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Like a horse. A workhorse. For hard work.
Now, I know what hard work I do, but what are you talking about exactly?
Look at yourself. You're a human pedometer. You must have walked 200,000 steps down cracked asphalt, mosaic, sand, and linoleum after you re-emerged.
You're right, I'm tired.
That is the sign of a hustler who never gives up. The world is harsh and people are evil. You didn't make it that way, and you won't let it break you. You ride.
I fucking ride till I die, bitch.
That's just what it's like. Life and death. But you got gills on your side, baby. Got those black papers with the faces of the innocents on them. You bring in the Franco-Negros and the Solas.
The money.
It
Yeah, I
ain't
see.
easy, but you do it. Day in and day out. You didn't make the rules, but you won't lose. You're a cop, and a sprinter, and a money printer.
Yeah, I guess I made some gills, sure.
Sure. And has it been easy? Is life easy? Have you not gone into cardiac arrest? Are you not about to have an anxiety attack or shoot yourself in the mouth? But you still hustle 24/7, ride or die.
Yeah.
Now, ask yourself, are you rich?
This feels very important. What would my character think of himself? Am I rich? I think he's lying to himself. He's got 100 real in his pockets, and he's saying, yeah, quite rich.
Get out of here. You're a pauper.
Dang it.
You work harder than anyone. Almost rode yourself to the grave, and you're still practically a hobo. Why is that?
Fucking taxes, man.
That's right, 100%. Fucking G-Man's got his jam-covered sticky fingers in your pocket, stealing from you every time you buy, sell, walk, talk, fart, so much as sneeze.
Really? Every time I sneeze?
Every time you wipe your ass. They got their direct and their indirect modes of taxation. Sales tax, excise duty, extraction tax, alimony, one tax that doesn't even have a name. Plus there's the stuff people in other countries pay for that makes them ask for more money from you. Here, total tax duties add up to
a lot.
98% of all your money.
No fucking way. I guess I'm a free market fundamentalist now.
Here you go, hustler. Fight the righteous fight. Free the people. Keep it real. Keep it street. Keep foaming at the mouth furiously on the tax issue.
Indirect modes of taxation. All right. I'll look at that next time. Until then, y'all take care.